What were you doing at 20 years old? Most of us are still trying to figure out life, maybe passing classes, working part-time, just trying to survive. But what if instead you felt God put something on your heart so clearly that you knew you weren't meant to work for anyone else? That's exactly what happened to today's guest, Jake Sisk, a 23-year-old Christian entrepreneur who's already scaled a commercial real estate company, built a faith-based investor community, and learned more from failure than most people learn in a lifetime. And what he shares in this conversation, it might be exactly the reminder you need today. So what's something God has put on your heart, but you've been too afraid to pursue? Drop it in the comments. Love to hear from you. And while you're here, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a new Prosperity Lounge episode every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. So pull up a chair. You're about to enter the Prosperity Lounge.
Grab a seat, sip some wisdom, and stay a while. This is the Prosperity Lounge where growth gets personal. Step inside, we're breaking chains.
Welcome back to the Prosperity Lounge where growth gets personal and hope meets freedom. I'm your host, Joey Ruffalo. Joining me today is Jake Sisk. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm here at the CEO Summit at Liberty University, and I'm just super blessed to be here, honestly.
So you were telling me before we started a little bit about yourself. 20 years old, you started your company.
I did, yes.
What inspired you to start at 20?
It's really funny. The story I like to say is I knew God put on my heart that I wouldn't be able to work for someone. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, Christian entrepreneur through and through. And I just wanted to find a way to solve problems in an industry for people, for different Christian entrepreneurs in the space. And that's what I'm doing.
I love that. I have that same entrepreneurial spirit. I tell the story before, when I was 18, I had a couple jobs in high school here and there, but never really much. Parents always like stay with schools, after sports, stuff like that. When I went to college, I got a job at McDonald's. I guess like every young kid does at one point in time, right? I worked there for a week. I had the first weekend off. I checked the schedule, not on the calendar. I go home, fine. Saturday morning calls. It's like 8:30 in the morning. My boss calls me and says, "Why aren't you at work?" I said, I'm not on the calendar for today. And they said, argue with me that I was. And I said, I'm not. Check it again. And they said, here, it's right here. It's John, 8 to 2. I said, John, my name's Joey. Her response was, same difference. You're supposed to be here. And I said, how am I supposed to know that what you meant was me when you don't have the courtesy to know? At that point, I said, if you don't have the courtesy to know my name as a manager, I never want to work for somebody else again.
Yep.
I want to be my own boss. And if I am privileged to lead others, I am not leading that way. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that perspective.
So that was my fry dipping experience in middle management for a while. But yeah, it was not for me. Entrepreneur all the way. Started our own business when we were 22, I think it was. We did pet sitting and dog walking, and people thought we were crazy because, hey, you're supposed to go to grad school, you're supposed to go to law school, why are you picking up dog poop? I'm like, dog poop is it's black, but it's green, man. It's paying the bills, and people are paying for it, and we're having a great time doing it. And it's one of those things where if you love what you do, you're not working.
Yeah,
and we love
that's
what
how I
did,
feel,
man. And
yep.
So it was great. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, what you're doing nowadays, and what brought you here to Liberty?
Yeah, so it's funny. I ended up at Liberty in a very unique way. So I was a college wrestler and track runner at New Jersey City University. I have a business management degree from there, and I was a 2020 graduate from high school, and which means I got a COVID year for athletics.
Yes.
So I I had redshirted. For anyone who's not familiar with redshirting, it's when you sit out, defer year of eligibility, so you can have an extra year to compete, and you can continue to be a student, probably go for a master's program, and get a graduate degree. So what I did was I had 2 years of extra eligibility. So I left, went to the transfer portal. Super blessed for Liberty Track and Field to take me on to the track and field roster last year. And that's how I ended up here. And it's been a huge blessing. I never thought I'd end up at Liberty. I always, I want to go to a big SEC school and everything that was on ESPN. And I was familiar with Liberty, but didn't really know too much about them. And God put on my heart to reach out to Liberty, and they really took a chance on me. And I had a company that was running for about a year and a half at the time. And I transferred in to do my 5th and 6th year here because of that. And the connections I've made here to be able to grow spiritually and with my faith in the Lord, and just be surrounded by a lot of Christian-minded entrepreneurs. It's been incredible. And I'm here because of that. And over the past year and a half, our business has more than 10x itself since I've transferred into Liberty. And I'm a student, but and I'm an athlete, and I, most importantly, I'm a Christian entrepreneur.
Now, you said something that piqued my interest a second. You said Jersey
City University. That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you from Jersey?
I am from New Jersey, born and raised.
Born and raised myself.
Yep. I grew up in Piscataway, right next to Rutgers University. Yes. And it was a great experience. My parents are super supportive, and now that I'm down south, that Southern hospitality is slower and it's real. And I love New Jersey, but I'm staying down here.
All right. I grew up in Belleville. Right outside
awesome.
New York. Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is off topic, but I need you to settle the debate.
Pork roll. I knew where you were going. I went to school in Jersey City. Yeah.
Taylor Ham.
Yeah. All my Jersey City wrestling teammates call it Taylor Ham.
To the bridge, the Brunswick Bridge down. It's all pork roll south.
Yep.
But it's Taylor Ham. I mean, we have a place that's just open near us that has Taylor Ham on the menu. So, I mean, it's got to be, right? All right. So, tell me a little bit about what you're doing as far as you said your business.
Yeah.
Actually, let me backtrack for a second. I want to get into track and field for a sec because I was a track guy myself. What are your events?
I'm an 800-meter specialist. That's all I've ever done. That's all I do. Okay. I don't go up. I don't go down. I just want to get really good at one thing.
All right, so you're like 800, 1600, somewhere in there?
800. I can run the 400 if I need to, but I'll make my money in the 800. That's what I say.
Yeah.
The hardest event besides maybe the 400 hurdles. The longest sprint.
I'll say the 400 is the hardest for a guy my size because they made me do it in high school, and I was a javelin shot put guy.
Yep.
Who liked to sprint. I had a good 100. After that, I was winded, but they're like, "Hey, we don't have the guys running the 4. I can give you a good half a lap." That's about it.
Yep.
You need the point. Maybe I can get you something, but other than that, forget it. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing nowadays with your business. How did you get started on that, and what exactly is commercial real estate nowadays? Yeah.
So what I do is I co-founded a company with my father. Okay. We buy commercial real estate. We set up commercial real estate funds, and we use it to acquire properties in Texas and North Carolina. And what we do is we raise money from investors. We buy the properties either with cash, maybe we put a mortgage on it and pull together money for down payments. And the goal is to have these really safe and stable returns that are cash flowing on a monthly and quarterly basis. And it's been awesome so far.
Were you always interested in real estate? Was it in your family? Your dad's real estate?
No. So we didn't grow up with a lot of money. It was very, very, very modest lifestyle. My parents got divorced when I was in middle school. Money got a little bit tighter. And that was pretty much the extent of it. My dad was in a digital marketing agency. He owned his own business, worked from home. And we didn't have any real estate, didn't own any real estate. And we just kind of bootstrapped the company, put it together. I had this idea to launch a Christian-based entrepreneurship real estate company,
Okay.
and I asked my dad to join me. A lot of people ask me what it's like to work for your dad, and no, I asked him to join me, and which has been such a blessing to work with a parent, because you get the perspective of someone who's been an entrepreneur, been in the industry for a long time, of the business world, and I have all these young, fresh ideas, and my dad likes to say I have no fear, which I think is,
Okay.
in my opinion, the only way to operate with scale.
Sure.
And our goal is to scale to over $1 billion of assets under management. Currently, we're sitting just under 10 million, and it's been such a blessing so far. Yep.
Do you not let your dad forget it every now and then when he's like try to tell you to do something like, hey, I'm your boss?
We definitely have a lot of back and forth banter.
Hey, Dad, get me coffee.
Yeah. We have a lot of fun. I look at him as my main business mentor, my advisor. Anything that he pushes back on, I push back, and we come up with a solution. And I find that it's been a really good way for us to grow with scale, because how I describe it is, I'm riding a bike for the first time, and he doesn't let me, in his words, he doesn't let me not hit the potholes. He just makes sure I don't fall off the bike and get hurt.
I love that.
So he lets me learn that those potholes don't feel good, but he'll never let it crash and burn, which I think is a good way to parent and co-found as an advisor.
What's the mission or driving force behind your organization and business?
So I think that the commercial real estate space in particular is very money driven. There's not a lot of faith-based entrepreneurs in the space. I mean, anytime you get into an industry that is makes money, has a lot of investments, I think it's difficult to find a community that is rooted in God. And that's our goal, is we want to have a business that is not public. We want to keep it private.
Sure.
We want it to be for investors who are equally yoked. Maybe they want to learn more about God. Maybe they want to learn more about real estate. Maybe they're just looking for a safe investment. And as an investor myself too, man, if you got a group of people praying for an apartment complex we just bought, I'm going to pick that one over one that's not being prayed over. And that's a really cool feeling to see that you have all these entrepreneurs and people who are obviously praying for their own investments, that trust us with what we're doing and the business we've created. I have a partner, Matthew Teifke. He owns one of the largest privately held brokerages in Texas. He's got between 120 and 140 agents that work for him. And that's where we get all our deal flow from. He's a Christian faith-based entrepreneur. Started when he was 18. He's 34 now. Very humble guy. You would never know he's running a company with that type of deal flow, and that many people that are working with him. And he's slowly scaled his portfolio to over 160 million. And some of that is the real estate we own together. And it's been a blessing to have someone like that leading me and mentoring me and giving me a spiritual perspective as well. And I think that's underrated too, to be able to grow in faith in this industry where I would say 70% or so need more guidance in that perspective. It's fascinating. So
Now, since you sat down at the table before I started recording, you've been pretty much smiling the entire time.
yeah,
So this next question is,
right.
what's exciting you right now? What are you most excited about?
Potential.
Okay.
I think that the business has so much potential.
Awesome.
I'm extremely motivated, extremely hungry to just better myself in every way possible. I mean, I'm when I transferred into Liberty, I told some of my teammates last year when I transferred in, I said, I'm here because I want to be in an environment where I'm the worst runner on the team. My ego does not care that I'm last in workouts, that I have the slowest times. I want to always be in an environment where there's potential for me to improve, for me to, because everybody knows something that you're not an expert in, that you don't know. And if I can be in more rooms where I have the lowest net worth, where I have the opportunity to learn from people who are closer to God than I am, that are faster than me,
Sure.
that have more experiences with relationship building and businesses. That's the room. I'm in the right room if I'm at the bottom of that, because I'm going to be pulled up by all these people, and
Sure.
it's incredible.
There's something about being comfortable that's
I
should be
don't.
uncomfortable.
I don't.
It should be uncomfortable.
I enjoy being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
See, I'm getting there.
Yep.
I like my cozy blanket every now and then, but yeah, no, it's seems to be. I had a couple guests so far, and just the running theme of the show over the last several weeks has been stuff that I need to hear in my own life.
Yeah. Amen.
And I
Amen.
was thinking to myself, like, I got it all. I'm thinking, I'm doing this for others. Other people need to hear the messages that I'm putting out that the guests are talking about. Ultimately, it's me that needs to hear it. I'm
Yep.
learning the most show, which is amazing, and I love
That's
that.
awesome.
I love that. How do you define success in what you do?
If you have purpose,
Purpose. Okay.
if you're able to, I don't think success is a number. Like I mentioned, our goal, we want to have $1 billion fund. If that's not what God has planned, I still trust what He has planned, right? And I didn't grow up Christian. I didn't. I was saved about 4 or 5 years ago, and my life has changed because of that. And I think that success is defined based on if you are able to wake up every day with purpose, with direction, clarity, with health, and be able to work towards whatever your purpose for being here on this earth is. And every day that you wake up and you have the opportunity to do that is another day to work towards that goal. And and being in the track and field space, I don't look at times anymore. I've been around a while. My when I first transferred in, my teammates called me Unc. They call me Uncle because I was substantially older than them. Some of the guys, even when I was talking to them, they were in 8th grade when my freshman year of high school now, and so my freshman year of college, I should say. And it's one of those things where you just wake up and you're able to mentor people and just truly be fulfilled with everything you're doing every day. I mean, that's success to me.
Do you find opportunity in that space where teammates might be coming up to you as an older teammate, either with life questions, but also maybe entrepreneurial questions as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think that how I would describe it is we also run class on Thursdays with students and adults and anybody who's interested in real estate that have seen my LinkedIn, Jake Sisk. Anyone go on LinkedIn and I post very actively on there. But they'll see content that me or my partner Matt or his 2 partners will post, and they say, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on that?" And my perspective is always just when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I have a lot of people that aren't ready to hear the message yet, so it doesn't apply. But when someone is ready to learn information, I've always been super. Nothing is. I'll share all my information for free. Nothing is gatekept. I want everybody to be successful in real estate, successful in life, successful in entrepreneurship, whatever their calling is, to work towards that. And if someone comes to me and they want my perspective or my opinion, I'm more than happy to share because I've been incredibly blessed with a lot of great mentors over the years. Some are in the real estate industry, some are just spiritual mentors that have helped me really develop my faith and just even be a better athlete, better son, better boss, better co-founder, whatever that means for whoever I'm talking to is the perspective from that. Yeah.
How has your journey so far shaped your view of prosperity, whether that's personally or professionally?
It's funny because I'm very hard on myself, so
Right.
I think you have to be as an entrepreneur.
Sure.
If you settle for or give in to temptations and desires that pull you away from your ability to be prosperous, I think that is the biggest vice that people can have, and I just want to continue to be really consistent. Just be really consistent. And there's a lot of times where I don't feel like doing something, but if you have the discipline and the diligence, you'll be okay. You'll be
Sometimes
okay.
it just has to get done.
It just has to get done, and that's created prosperity. Is just reminding yourself that.
Now, speaking of things that just have to get done, obviously that means sometimes things are getting a little tough, and you
Yeah,
got to pull yourself up or just do it, like you said. So, who or what inspires you when things are getting tough?
it's a great question. I think that I find myself more and more as I develop as a business owner and as a person, looking more towards what God's plans are. That is top of mind as often as it can be. I get a lot of motivation from my dad. I think he works incredibly hard, sometimes to a fault. I think sometimes you see someone working harder, not smarter,
Well, he's
and
got a tough boss.
yes,
Truck in the
yeah,
whip there.
yeah, exactly. And I think that also I look towards a lot of mentors for that level of accountability too, and I all of my mentors are people that have done something that I want to do that I haven't done yet. And I listen to exactly what they have. I don't deviate. If I say, "Hey, I want to launch a fund. I want to launch 10 funds." I find someone who's launched 10 funds and I ask them their feedback. I write it down, I pay attention to it, I take notes on it, and then I apply it. A lot of people can gather information, but applying that information is what separates being interested, being committed, and being obsessed. If you're not obsessed with being prosperous in this space, it's going to be very difficult.
So, along this path, there's probably been some, we talked about the tough times, there's probably been some failures, I would imagine, some challenges that you faced.
More failures than successes.
What's a big lesson away or learn through that failure?
A lesson, and I'll answer this in two parts. A lesson for me personally is just, and this is a very cheesy cliche answer, but just never give up. If you just keep just and I didn't believe it at first, like, oh, everyone says never give up, but trust me, just keep going, because you will have a lot more failures than successes. But those successes will greatly outweigh the failures that are presented to you. And I'm sure that stance I take will adapt and develop and be proven true as the company grows and scales. I have a very finite perspective to give on a 3.5-year run we've done so far. We've done a lot of amazing things in a short period of time, and I'm super blessed for that. But what I see so frequently in this industry and just in the entrepreneurial space is that people will get really motivated. They'll see a cool ad. They'll even spend a lot of money for these courses, his product, for this idea, and then they get a little bit of pushback and they just concede. And sometimes I still think it comes back to you have to truly be obsessed with something to be really good at it. But even if that's not the case, I see so many really motivated, really sharp, really people. I'm not smarter than anybody in this industry. I'm just a guy who just wants it very, very badly.
One of those guys, I take it as you're on the shoulders of giants, right? People are coming forward, but taking what people have done, their successes, and applying it. I mean, that's the great thing about what I try to do here on the show too, is talking to people through this process, like someone like yourself, someone who wants to get into this line of work. They're hearing you and they're cutting through the noise. They're cutting through all that potential blockages that get in their way, because now they're hearing success, but they're also hearing what to do on the right path.
Yeah.
And you've had these mentors. You talk about going to them and seeking them out, and that's what important to do, is finding them and seeking them out. Find people that are doing what you want to do, and be a pain in their butt. so to speak, right? Just be a thorn in their side and attach yourself to them until they sit you down and tell you all their secrets.
Yep.
Which essentially is just basically work hard.
Yeah. Yep.
Do the right thing.
And to add, I am very persistent. You have to be persistent.
Yeah.
I have a mentor that got me connected with a viral podcasting company.
Okay.
And they are very successful at what they do. They're Christian entrepreneurs. And I followed up with them via text message. One of my mentors, he facilitated a text with them. And I followed up, him and my mentor and myself, we followed up on 8 different text messages before I got an answer back.
Wow.
To be on the show. And most people get offended, or you allow, and it's funny because the devil is very deceptive because he allows ego to get in the way of a lot of things. And when someone doesn't answer a text one time,
Sure,
you get frustrated, they don't follow up, and you're, oh, you know what? I didn't need to be on their podcast anymore. Or that means I wasn't supposed to be there. Maybe it's not the timing you're supposed to be on it.
right.
When I reached out 4 months ago, I didn't have this fund that I now have that's very applicable to be talking about. We have a free Thursday call that I post the Zoom links on my LinkedIn, and we just talk about real estate. We pray, we talk about God, we just have fun, and we talk about deals. And that community that my partner Matthew Teifke had this brilliant idea to create has grown into this very prosperous community that wasn't as big 4 to 6 months ago as now. And it's a lot more applicable that we can plug that. We could talk about that. We could share that. And so our flesh and our timing and our ego allows us to kind of manipulate what the vision truly is for what we do. And I don't know too many people that would have followed up that many times, but I would have followed up 30 times if I needed to, because it was on my heart, and I felt it was very important for their community here, our community to be a part of. And I'm just super blessed and looking forward to staying very disciplined to grow this into a very prosperity based space.
I think there was a famous, I want to say famous business person said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Yep.
I think that was Michael Scott that said that.
Yeah.
So that's true. It applies. I mean, you if you don't follow up, if you don't take that initiative, if you get offended by a delayed response. Look, I'm guilty of it myself. I had somebody email me the other day, and I read it late at night, and I said, it's too late for me to respond. I don't want to bother them if it dings on their phone. I'll respond in the morning. Life gets in the way. I looked at the email. I had to respond. It was 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I got to respond to this email. And I didn't realize it was 2 weeks later, but I apologized. But I was like, man, I tell people now, it's like, if you don't hear from me, please send me another message or a text, because life might be got in the way. And I'm not ignoring you, but I don't want you to feel like I'm offending you or ignoring you. Just follow up with me, because I'll admit I'm the worst person. I'm the worst follow-upper.
Yeah.
So follow up with me, and I'll make sure we take care of whatever needs to be done. So I think putting those expectations out too for people is important nowadays, because like you said, people just get, hey, can you just no, I'm never going to ask them again for anything in my entire life, and that's
absolutely
not the right. Maybe it's just not the right timing for that to happen.
Yeah.
But you never know what's going to happen 2 days from now.
Yep, 100%. And we are here for such a finite period of time that I'm so motivated to want to follow up, want to connect with people, want to make a difference and leave an impact on this earth while I'm here, because we have no idea how long we're supposed to be here. And so I don't want any day I wake up to be wasted.
I think you read my notes, because I was going to get into impact and legacy. Next question here. What kind of legacy do you hope to leave through your work?
It's a great question.
I'm full of them today.
Yeah. The legacy I want to leave is, I don't want any of it to be ego based. I don't want an impact left just so that my name is remembered. I want people to look at the company we've created, and our vision is to take a lot of that passive income that we bring in as a company and start donating it to organizations that we believe in, and their missions that they believe in, and not have any outside interference. Whatever we want to do, that's where it goes. We want to help people and be intentional and not have it watered down to industries that we don't want to be involved in. And I want the legacy to be that, wow, that left a positive impact, that led people to Jesus, and created a company that actually changed a lot of people's lives while they were here on earth, and affected them and on a soul level. We want to own real estate that the tenants live there and they're like, wow, I'm glad I don't have a slumlord. I'm glad that this company has taken the initiative to buy where we live. Because growing up, I think I mentioned my parents got divorced, and I watched my mom move a bunch of times. I think we moved 4, 5, maybe 6 times in 10 years. And so I got to see a full range of different rental properties and places to live, and some were better than others. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I don't ever want to be in one where, and there's always going to be disagreements and things that happen and don't go your way, and that's fine. But I don't want to be in a place that's unsafe. And if we can leave that kind of impact, even all the way down at the level of who our renters are, not even our investors, not even our people who work in our company, or other companies are investing with us, but just purely everybody's like, you know what? I'm glad that they left an impact on me. That's the legacy.
I love that, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so powerful.
And just from a personal perspective, if I may, I want to raise a family and have a wife and kids. I'm 23, so I'm still in student at Liberty here, but I want to leave that impact so that my kids are able to, in the future, when I have them, to pass that down and just have a perspective of abundance, that there's whatever they want, they can achieve. And there's no cap, there's no limit on what this material world has in place for us, and that they can leave an impact that's hopefully even greater than what I can.
I was going to ask a question, but I'm thinking whether or not I should ask her.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, ladies.
I am. Yes. Yeah.
But I didn't want to assume.
No, I am. I'm not seeing anybody. This is a perfect matchmaking. You can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Jake Sisk. I answer all of my DMs on there. This is even if you just want to invest, or if you're an investor. Either way, that's the way to reach me. If you're that works too. Yes.
Perfect. I'll throw this out there for you. If you use the word prosperity in your outreach to him for a date, and it ends up being marriage, I'm getting invited to the wedding.
You're getting invited to the wedding and steak dinner on me.
Yes,
you can put that one, write that one down, because that will happen.
Stamp it. We're good. All right, I got a rapid fire round questions for you. 10
All right.
questions. First words off the top of your head.
Okay, I'm ready.
Best book you ever read that challenged your perspective?
Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill.
Daily habit that contributes most to your success?
Waking up before the sun, 5 a.m.
Sure, I've not gotten there yet. What's the worst financial or business mistake you ever made, and what did you learn from it?
I lost $15,000 on my first ever real estate deal. I was not diligent on the due diligence, and I did the legal and inspections out of sequence, out of order, and went hard on some money on a property that we didn't end up buying after we found some problems. And it was totally on me. I got overzealous, and when you're 21, 22 years old, 20 years old, and you lose $15,000, that is not a good feeling.
If you could have dinner with any entrepreneur, past or present, who would it be?
Incredible question. I want to take a second to answer this because I want someone to see this and actually do it for me. John Maxwell. I want to have dinner with John Maxwell.
All right. All right. Table for 3 and not 1. Because again, I'm getting invited to that. What's one mindset shift that completely changed the game for you?
Stop giving in to temptations. There's always going to be temptations and desires, and they can even be as simple as, oh, I don't feel like running today. And the more you don't give into that, the more of an opportunity you have to develop a part of the mind. My master's degree, developmental psychology at Liberty University here. And the more you developed that part of the mind, the more it, for a lack of a better word, it calcifies and you're able to do hard things more often.
What's one piece of advice you ignored at first but later realized was absolute gold?
Putting God first.
What's one word you use to describe your day so far?
A blessing.
If you had to start over tomorrow with nothing but what's in your head, what's the first thing you do?
Networking. Networking with people is most important. Whoever you have access to in your Rolodex, in your network is more important than any material value you have. Be able to pick up the phone and call someone is it can't be matched. You know, I would start networking if I had to start back over from zero and start meeting everybody from scratch.
What's one thing people misunderstand about you or your work?
It's not about money. I don't do this for money. Our fund has a 0% management fee, which is very unorthodox in a fund world. I don't need a paycheck to run the fund. I want everybody's money to be safe. I want everybody to be happy. And I know that if we are diligent and do things the right way and keep it faith-based, that we'll be taken care of with more than enough abundance than we'll ever need. I could put a number and a value on what I think I'm supposed to have, but that's just my flesh. And truly, you'll be okay if you just fully submit.
And lastly, what's your personal definition of prosperity?
The ability to wake up every morning and live with the purpose we're on this earth for.
Man, I'm gonna re-listen to this later on and make sure, because I need to hear some of this myself over and over again.
Amen.
Jay, thanks so much, man.
Yes.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yes. Thank you, Joey.
Let me hear again how people can connect with you and follow your work.
Best way to connect with me, I am extremely active on LinkedIn. I post almost every day. That would be you can even message me on LinkedIn, and it's me. It's not a bot. I'm more than likely will be the one answering you.
Perfect. Any final words of encouragement or advice you leave for our listeners today?
If you ever feel like giving up, if something is difficult, or if you're truly motivated to do something, don't think about the end goal. Think about enjoying the journey along the way and looking at how far you've come since you started. I will end every day with learning something new. If you could learn something new every single day of your life, you're going to compound and your success is going to grow. Before your head hits the pillow, it could be anything. It could be just watching a YouTube video. Learn something new. Never stop learning, ever.
Jay, thank you so much again for sitting down, pulling up a chair in the Prosperity Lounge. Until next time, everybody, thank you for joining us. Stay faithful, stay fearless, and remember, freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open, and so is your next breakthrough. This is the Prosperity Lounge. Thanks for pulling up a chair inside the Prosperity Lounge, where growth gets personal and hope meets freedom. I hope today's conversation sparks some new ideas and inspire you to take your next bold action towards freedom in business, finances, and life. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. You can also join our free community at theprosperitylounge.com, where the conversation continues and you can connect with others, get access to our exclusive resources like our budget course, our budget app, a ton of downloads. Until next time, everybody, stay faithful, stay fearless, and remember, Freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open, and so is your next breakthrough.